for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ranking Member Velasquez. Mr. Patterson, one of the things that you talked about, and I also, when you talk about free trade, there's also fair trade. We got to make sure that we have that level playing field, and I think that we see some advantages out there with a country like China that we need to help to try to eradicate. But when you talk about a couple of things here, you said reduce restrictions and regulations and also uncertainty. Can you give me some examples of what you mean as far as some of the uncertainty out there that maybe Congress can help to alleviate?
Well, from an uncertainty standpoint, what often happens is that, and I hate to use the word kind of like a bait and switch, you basically enter into an agreement, and then you find out that, oh, by the way, you forgot this aspect of it. I mean, in terms of a contract, and when we talk about how to make it so it's a level playing field, it is more along the line of knowing that if you produce a product, that by the time you get it to the marketplace, that whatever terms you've been working on, those will remain. That it won't be after you have the product and you have everything ready to go, and now the terms are maybe not even revised, but restated, and it creates a difficulty in terms of being able to market that product. And we've run into this at several times. It's more on the technical end than it is on the financial end.
Other question I had, anyone from the panel, when you talk about protection of intellectual property, do you see any problems out in the international court systems where maybe there's a disadvantage to you, where some of these foreign countries can, take your patents away and reproduce it and undercut you out there in the market?
We've experienced some copyright infringements. We're generally able to combat those through the use of the courts and so on in the United States. We do file patents in the countries that we do business with, so we try to go internationally. But I think one of the panel members, this is expensive. And I think ultimately it's up to the countries you do business with to enforce those laws, and at least with an agreement. If they're strong in intellectual property, there is an agreement that we can try to enforce. If there's no agreement and no agreement with intellectual property, then we really don't have any protection at all. But it is important, and it's something we do need in the agreements.
And Mr. Wise, I just want to say, being from the South, keep those pork ribs coming. But I'd also like to ask you, we've seen the second and third order effects, especially with the beef industry, with the rise in food prices. And I'm wondering, do you see that also affecting your business in the pork industry?
I'm sorry. Could you restate that?
Oh, I know. I'm speaking Southern. Just kidding.
I missed it. Okay.
No, the thing is, we have seen second and third order effects on the beef industry from the rise in food prices. And so I'm asking, do you see the same thing happening as well in the pork industry?
If I understand your question, for instance, these 3 FTAs would add about $11 to the price of a hog. That's maybe 4% in the total value of the pig. As I see it, that's not a significant increase or a cost to the consumer as an as an inflationary cost.
I yield back, sir.
I believe